So for example, let's say I wanted to, let's introduce, unless there's anything else you wanted to add, I want to go ahead and introduce a method with multiple parameters, so that's okay.
Mhm.
Okay, so I've done something a little crazy here. Again, when I talked about this part of the signature, I said this was a parameter list, which means that it can contain 0 to many parameters. What we have here is an example of a method that has two parameters, one integer called left and another integer called right. So we can add as many parameters as we wish to our method. In this case, what our method does is it computes the result of adding left and right, and it prints it out to the screen. So what I can do now is I can say add numbers, and I can invoke it. But because this method requires two parameters, I have to supply two arguments. Remember, an argument is the data that we're giving to the method from the call site, or from where it's invoked from. In this case, line 7. So what I can do is I can do add numbers 1 and 1. To separate arguments, we just separate them with commas. And I can go ahead and do add numbers 2 and 5 and 10 and 13, or how about 132? I have fat fingers. And then we go ahead and hit F5, and what do we get? We get the result of invoking add numbers 3 times, but the important thing to take away from this is that we're invoking add numbers with 3 different sets of arguments, which again gives us a great amount of flexibility. It allows us to accept data that can alter the behavior of our method depending on what exactly we want the program to do. All right, so we did get a question that I did already answer. You cannot invoke a method unless you provide an argument for every single parameter in it, and those arguments must match the exact same type. Okay, so that's an example of a method that does something given data.